Manny Talk Shooting is proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns. Did you know that Phil the Groundhog isn't the only thing Puxatawny, Pennsylvania is famous for? That's right, D2 Custom Guns, the home of Dan Heizenreiter and one of the best fabulous 2011 builders in the country. So make sure you guys go check him out, D2 Custom, anywhere you can see him on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, go check him out. If you see myself, Patches Reader, anyone with the D2 Custom Guns, make sure you go check him out, and you will thank me later. Now, let's get on to the show. Thank you, everybody, for checking out this video. I greatly appreciate it. But we really talk about my appreciation for everyone who listens and watches every week and listens to the podcast. I appreciate you being listeners and listening to the content that I provide. Now, here's a little ask I have. If you're probably here, you're probably one of those people. But I've kind of decided to start a Patreon, whatever you want to call them. Not because I want to super expand. I just kind of want to make this a little more sustainable. So my goal is I'm starting a Patreon with two different tiers, the fan tier and the super fan tier. I think both pretty reasonable in cost. And that's what I want them to make them be. If you really feel like you want to go above and beyond what you like here at Manny Talk Shooting, this is kind of your option to do so. I was also thinking about doing YouTube membership since I got approved to be in the YouTube partner program with the channel, so that's kind of exciting too. But I'm going to start here on Patreon. So I've got the super fan and super fan levels that I talk about. So if you're interested in that, go check those out. Both will have access to a Manny Talk Shooting Discord, which you can only get in through the Patreon. That's kind of how it works. But at the fan level, one's a $4 and one's a $7 tier. At the $4 tier, you're going to get some behind the scenes content, a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. You'll get shouted out on every podcast or video on a screen grab of the list of the fans and super fans of Manny Talk Shooting. So, but really at the super fan levels where you're getting all your kit and caboodle, we're going to do a monthly member only live streams. So 1 week a month, we're going to do a member only live stream over probably on Rumble or maybe YouTube. I don't know exactly. Whatever one's easier to do, a members only one, just to make it simple. But you've also got exclusive content, and you guys are going to be able to pick kind of who comes on the show. But as a patron member, both will be able to ask podcast guests specific questions, and I'm going to make sure those get into the shows. Currently, I ask questions from people on Instagram, and currently, if I put them in, I get them in. If I don't, I don't. But if you're a patron, they will be in the show. I will make sure to ask those questions to the guests in the most appropriate manner. But also, you're getting shouted out on end of every podcast or video I put up. So, because without the patrons, it's kind of hard to do. Really, all I'm trying to hope and do is, cover some of my internet expenses on this. I'll be 100% transparent on that. Cover the editing software, cover the the thumbnail maker, cover the platform I'm recording this on, EVMux, cover that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit easier to do a little more, right? I love shooting the D2 Customs, and I appreciate Dan's support of the podcast and me so much. I want to be able to shoot this thing more. I'm not asking you to pay for another D2C as much as this thing's a beaut and I love it, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm just trying to cover some of my expenses doing this stuff to make it easier to keep doing what I do. Just a little bit of an edge off of it, right? And nor do I expect super amounts of coverage from you guys taking care of. But I try to provide the best kind of content I can. And I'm trying to up my game here in the studio as much as I can on the limited kind of budget I'm putting towards it, right? But I'm trying to make things better for everybody. And with the help of patrons like yourself, if you're here, it's possible. But there's always a new adventure to go down. And I really like doing this. We've almost done this podcast for over almost 200 episodes. I'm really proud of that. With being super consistent on it. And I hope you enjoyed the quality of the content. I've been upgrading as I can, over the years, started with a very cheap microphone and enhanced to another microphone that I'm still using now, but enhanced the audio interfacing, being able to do that, just making things a little bit better. here on the channel. So if I can cover some of those costs, that's really what I'm hoping to do, and be able to explore more options and give back to the people who really enjoy the content, who are willing to help me out with this kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. But moving to Patreon, I mean, there's still going to be all the content you're going to see. There's even probably going to be Patreon exclusive only podcast episodes that people can request. So if you want JJ Rakaza on a podcast and you're a patron member and I can make it happen, I'll make it Patreon exclusive. I'll do what I can in my power, but without you guys, I don't know where I'd be at. So that's my long little spiel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, I see you. Get out and do the things, and thank you